Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. This week I decided to do some Pokemon fan art, and yet again it's because of all this talk of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I am very excited for this game to come out. In fact, I was excited by a lot of the games that were announced at E3, which I will talk about at another time because sequel to Breath of Wild. Oh my god. Oh my. Anyway, all this talk of Pokemon Sword and Shield has me really inspired, and I really wanted to do a Pokemon scenery piece or two. When I do pieces, especially when it comes to fan art, I try and make all the pieces kind of in a way relate to each other. This way that, say if someone was to get them as a set, or if you were to buy prints of any X, Y and Z, or well, not the Pokemon X, Y, but if you were to buy prints of any series, that it would be consecutive. It's coming up to that time of year where I'm doing some fan art conventions, and I don't do a lot of fan art, but lately, because of all these amazing games that have been coming out, I have just been so inspired. I really want to do some Animal Crossing fan art at some point because, oh, that game looks so cute. I'm just so excited. But Pokemon Sword and Shield looks really, really good. I'm really excited for it to come out. These pieces, before I go into any talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield, these pieces were kind of a way for me to play around with backgrounds and really to get some practice in with gouache. I'm still fairly new when it comes to learning with it, and there's a lot of learning curves that I have to remember when it comes to gouache. It doesn't behave the same way as other materials. It's very different. The ones I'm using are the Lang and Royal Lang. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Royal Lang Nickel. I'll leave a link to the ones that I use down below if you're interested in checking them out. And the paper I'm using here is an A3 Faber-Castell mixed media pad. I'll leave links to all the equipment that I've used down below, and the brushes that I use, they're just a mixture of random brushes. I picked up these really cute fine detailed ones for when I'm working with clay pieces. They've been really handy lately. I've been using them an awful lot, so I'll leave links to that as well down below in case you are interested. But there's a lot for me to remember when it comes to gouache, because it is such an opaque, yet you can lift the colour and you can change the way it works by using it like watercolour, by watering it down. I've been watching videos of people using it, and I find that when I'm using gouache, I'm forced to think of block colours. So I was thinking in a way how I could utilise that, and I wanted to do a very almost like a child-friendly style illustration of Pokemon. I think this would be a really good way for me to practice playing around with gouache. Now, there's still a lot of things I need to learn with gouache. If you water it down too much, it can be a little bit streaky. The application can be a little bit interesting. It behaves very differently to watercolor, and sometimes when it dries slightly differently from when it's wet. It looks like a different color. So I was worried at first that this nighttime piece in particular, that I'd made certain areas far too dark, and I didn't know how I was going to lift it in any way, shape or form. But in the end, it turned out all right. I think out of these two pieces, I think the night one's probably my least favourite. I'm in love with the sky. I really like all the Pokemon huddled together, even though some of them look more like actual sheep than Pokemon. I think I was really happy with certain executions of this section, whereas the daytime section I'm really happy with. The nighttime section, not so much. There's still practice that needs to go in there, still stuff that I need to look at, and still stuff that I need to go through as well. But overall, I was really happy with these pieces. This one's just for me, it's just super cute. This is actually the original idea that I had for the Pokemon prints that I was trying to put out, or Pokemon pieces I was trying to do. I wanted to do I'm going to call it the sleepy sheepies, and they're all huddled up under a tree at the night time, and that was my initial first idea. And then the idea that I had for a daytime, I went for a few, but I settled on a flower field because I thought it would be perfect. I I think I would like to do 2 more. I'd like to do a dawn and a dusk, and I'm actually going to ask you guys, would you like to see another 2 in this like sort of series of like illustrations that I'm doing? I was thinking for dawn, maybe do like a water Pokemon scene where they're all going to have a morning swim, and maybe for the nighttime do like a mountainous area with like rock Pokemon, maybe some Clefairies and Jigglypuffs. Let me know in the comment section down below like what you guys think. I'm always interested in hearing your feedback and whether or not you think that I did okay with Gouache in this sense. Is there any tips that you've got? Like, please send them my way. It's an interesting medium. I don't think I get on with it as well as watercolor and markers, because I'm very much a mixed media artist, because I like to mix mediums to get the desired effect that I have in my head. But if there's like anything that you guys have tips on, just let me know in the comment section down below. I've been watching an awful lot of videos lately, a lot of art videos, to try and I think of techniques and look at new techniques to how I can apply it, because I think it's always a good way to try and improve by forcing yourself to work in a different material. But I had a lot of fun with this because it was just so blocky and colourful, and it was bright, and there's stuff that I could definitely work on with this. I think afterwards, to build texture, I use a little bit of pencil crayon just to build up certain areas that I wasn't getting the desired effect on with gouache. But other than that, like, I'm really, really happy with these pieces. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Oh boy. After that entire direct that we had just before E3, after that entire direct that we had just showing off the new Pokemon game and what was going to happen and some of the new Pokemon designs, I've really, really fallen in love, in particular with, say, Wooloo's design. I think that the idea of a sheep with pigtails is just actually adorable, and I am so excited to play this game. I'm a bit of a Pokemon fan. I haven't decided what starter I'm going to choose yet, and I think what's going to decide is how their evolutions go, because sometimes like I'll really like the Pokemon starter design, but I'll really dislike their last design. For example, I really dislike the legendaries in Sword and Shield. I'm not particularly happy with that, but that's, you know, that's just down to personal preference. I was actually really hoping that they'd do a lion and a unicorn, but they didn't. And good, well, you know, lion, it goes in the shield for England, it's represents like the strength and blah blah blah, and I just thought that'd be really cool. And I thought maybe they can't do that because they already had one in Sun and Moon. Maybe they, you know, was it Sun and Moon? I can't remember. One of the recent games had Lion Legendary, and I was really hoping the other Legendary would be a unicorn based one, just because like the idea of like the sword and the horn and just it makes I would love to design them, but hey, I don't work for the Nintendo. Maybe that should be a video. What do you think? Maybe I should design my own version of Sword and Shield Legendaries. Oh, I don't know. I was just so kind of like, the wolves, we've had a lot of dog legendaries, so I was just like, it's alright, it's okay. That's the only thing that's really like maybe and I'm not a massive fan of, like, is it the Giga Mega? I can't remember. E3's kind of just like blown my mind with the Nintendo conference, so I'm just like, oh, I am so excited for Animal Crossing. I cannot wait for that game. I don't mind that it's been pushed back. I'm very patient when it comes to games. I can wait. There's only so many games I can play at once. I've not played a game in quite a while, actually. I tend to play Stardew Valley on and off a lot on the Switch, but I don't really have that much time for games. As much as I would love to sit and like play. I'd love to do another playthrough of Breath of Wild after the end announcement of Breath of Wild. Breath of Wild 2 and the Zelda with the short hair. Sorry. I get really excited over the new, like, anything Zelda related. makes me so happy. I am so excited for Link's Awakening HD remake, because that was one of the first Zelda games I ever played. It was just it holds such a special place in my heart that I'm just so excited to see like the HD remake and how they're gonna do it, because it just looks really cartoony and joyful and colourful, and it makes me very inspired. I know games aren't necessarily well, to me they are like a form of art in a way. I really like seeing like the character designs and like the development. I'm more into seeing like the development of a game and how they've come to the final process. It's one of my reasons why I actually love collecting the art books of a lot of games, is I like to see the process and the behind the scenes and the character designs and how they've come to certain aspects. And there's a lot of games with a lot of beautiful game design that is in there. I don't know, I'm just excited. Is there any games from E3 this year that you guys were excited to see? I know it seems a bit weird that I'm talking about games and an art video, but they inspire me so much. I remember like one of the first games that really inspired me to draw when I was younger was Final Fantasy IX. Like, that was a game that really inspired. Breath of Fire 4, Breath of Fire 3, Jade Cocoon. I spent a lot of my childhood gaming, and it influenced me so much with my work and got me thinking about storytelling, because a lot of games have fantastic storytelling, some not so much, but there are like ways that they tell stories that capture you and make you want to play the game, make you want to understand, and that's what I love about a lot of games. I'm just excited to see stuff happening and to see how stuff develops. They're working, I think it's Spicy Horse Studios that do it, are working on Alice Madness 3, and I'm so excited for that because I love the first two games. Like, they were a huge inspiration for a long time. But there seems to be a lot of like really good games out there lately, and a lot of really good animations that are out there. I've just really recently finished Tangled the series, which I highly recommend to anyone. It is beautifully animated. It's 2D style animation. It's absolutely gorgeous. Star vs. Forces of Evil's finale. Oh my gosh. Miraculous Ladybug. Still waiting on more news about Steven Universe. And I just finished Carmen Sandiego lately. That was really good. But it's interesting to see like how animation has changed and how gaming has changed in this industry, because a lot of people are inspired by those art styles, and they really do make an impact more than people realise. And I think that's really fascinating to think of. Games can impact people's art. It makes people want to draw. It makes people want to make fan art of their favourite games. There was literally 20 minutes after any of the announcements of any of the Pokemon games or Zelda or anything like that, there was fan art popping up on Twitter, on Tumblr, and Instagram, and Facebook. It was absolutely insane, and it's just amazing how one thing can inspire a community so much. And I think that's really, really nice to see. And I'm excited to see more, quite frankly. I'm excited to see more art that people do inspired by these games. And hopefully, we'll see a lot more in the future. Have you guys been doing fan art lately? Feel free to tag me in it, or feel free to share what you've been working down below, or let me know what you've been working on. Are you excited for the new Pokemon game? Is there any games that you're in particular excited for? I don't know. Let me know. Is there any games that you cannot simply live without, that you cannot stop playing all the time? I'm just again on a Stardew Valley hype. I always play it in between when I'm working. I haven't played it for for about a month now because I've not had time to play it, but it's a really good way to relax and to calm down. It's one of my favourite things to relax, is play video games, and although I don't always have time for it, It's one of my all-time favourite activities, and it's really inspirational as well. So these are the two final pieces. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for 15 minutes. I really hope you guys have enjoyed these pieces. Let me know if you want to see more, if you'd like to see me do more in this series, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. I really enjoyed doing this, and thank you for letting me be indulgent and draw something a little bit silly and a little bit fan arty. I had a lot of fun doing these. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, maybe subscribe to see more content. I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep drawing, and as always, folks, stay creative.